Hello and welcome to English Language Boost Lessons online. Today's lesson is part 3 of Work and Professions. In this lesson, we will learn about key workers and revise the use of the present simple tense with jobs and professions. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to describe different job roles of key workers in the UK, identify the use of the present simple tense with positive sentences, negative sentences and question sentences. Create your own sentences using the present simple tense. And complete a variety of exercises to increase fluency and build on vocabulary. So if you've watched the previous lessons, we've now completed outcome 1 and outcome 2. And in today's lesson, we will complete outcome 3. Okay, so the first task for you now then, you will be reading a list of jobs in a table, and I want you to think about sentences that you can write for that job title of where they work and what they do, thinking about the present simple tense that we've just learnt, and write down the sentences for these jobs. Okay, so here we have the table, and in the job section we have a doctor, and then we've got the question where they work, what they do is where you need to make the sentences. Remember, using the present simple tense and thinking about third person singular, we're writing the sentences. And if we look at the structure of the sentence here, a doctor being third person singular works in a clinic. Okay, so a doctor works in a clinic or a hospital and looks after sick people, and we can see that with the main verb, these are positive sentences with the main verb where the verb has an S, which shows that it's connected to third person singular. Okay, so now you will see some job titles appear in the jobs section, the jobs table, and then I want you to start thinking about the sentences that you will need to write in the rest of the table. Okay, so for purposes of writing interactively, if you could just pause the video, and then once we've checked all the words, then you can pause the video and then write your answers. So let's first of all have a look at the job titles. So we've got police officer, scientist, security guard, nurse, paramedic, postal worker, politician. You can pause the video now and write down your answers. You can put them in the comment box or you can email them to me. Okay, let's check now. So the first one, police officer. A police officer works in a police station, is on the beat, and he keeps people safe. Okay, so maybe that's similar to your sentences, maybe it's different, but this is just an example sentence for you. So scientist, what does a scientist do? Where does a scientist work? What does a scientist do? Okay, so a scientist works in a laboratory and he researches and finds new breakthroughs. Okay, security guard, works in a CCTV room, patrols and keeps people safe. Okay. Nurse, where do nurses work and what do they do? Okay, so a nurse works in a clinic or a hospital and helps the doctor. Paramedic, where does a paramedic work and what do they do? Okay, so a paramedic drives an ambulance and it checks patients. Postal worker, where do they work? What do they do? Okay, so a postal worker works in a postal depot, delivers letters and parcels to homes. Okay, politician works in political surgeries or the House of Commons, makes changes to the law and policy. Okay, so just have a look at the different sentences. Have a look at your sentences. Are they similar? Are they different? Let me know. Okay. We're now going to look at some sentences, some present simple sentences, question sentences with the answers. So the first one, police officer. What does a police officer do? A police officer fights crime and helps people. Okay, if we just carefully look at the question is in the present simple tense. We've got the WH word to begin with, but then we've got the auxiliary verb does. Okay, then a police officer do, question. The answer, a police officer fights crime and helps people. Okay, so the verb in the answer is fights and helps, and both of the verbs have got an S on them, showing that it's a present simple sentence. Okay, so nurse, what does a nurse do? A nurse takes care of sick people. Okay, again, the verb take has become takes because a nurse is third person singular. Okay, the next one is for you to write the answer. We've got a doctor. What does a doctor do? If you want to write your answers, put them in the comment box or you can send them to me by email. Okay, write your answers for the doctor and make questions and answers for other key workers as well. Okay, so we're going to do some reading now. So I want you to read the advice given by medical staff during the peak of COVID-19. Okay, you can leave any comments to the questions. We're going to also look at some questions and you can leave your comments for those questions. Okay, so first of all, let's do some reading. Okay, so if you want to have a look and read. This is advice that was given by medical staff during the peak of the COVID-19. These images were taken through Facebook. It was a song that was written for medical staff, and they were advising people to do certain things. So the first advice was be responsible and stay home because I can't. Okay, so during the peak of the COVID-19, the government and the NHS staff, medical staff, were giving advice to for everybody to try to stay at home. Okay, did you get that advice? Did you stay at home? Let us know in your comment boxes. Okay, second advice. Have a read. Okay, so we also have family but can't stay home. Because medical staff, there was a big demand for medical staff to be at work so that they could help the patients of COVID-19. Okay, but they also have family. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, next one, if you want to read this one. Okay, wash your hands. This was a big advice that the government were giving, and also the medical staff were advising everybody to wash their hands. Okay, next one. So next one, we are not on vacation. If you remember, during the peak of the COVID-19, a lot of people were asked to stay at home and work from home. It was a little bit of a vacation for them. So, but the medical staff, they were not on vacation. They were very, 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 very busy with the workload that they had, with a lot of people going into hospital with the coronavirus, the COVID-19 illness, okay? Virus. So the next one, have a read. Okay, help us. Take care of me, I'll take care of you. Okay, so the way that you can take care of the NHS or the medical staff was to stay at home. So take care of me, I'll take care of you. Okay, have a read. Okay, so we are exposed to everything for you. So these were the real heroes, really, working almost so many hours just so that we could be protected. They were exposing themselves to everything for us, okay? So they're real heroes, key workers. Medical staff are key workers, and during the peak of the COVID-19, they really shone through. They really showed the world what their role is as in their jobs, okay? So what are the advices now? Okay, what are the new rules for COVID-19? Maybe you're from different countries. Do you have different rules? Please let us know. Write these in the comment box. It'd be great to know what different countries are doing, what rules they've got in different countries, okay? So what are the new rules for COVID-19? Okay, some more questions for you. Are we allowed to travel? Can I travel? Okay, what about the rule about washing hands? Do I need to wash my hands? Okay, what about social distancing? Can I meet my friends? Okay, some of us are still worried. How can I protect myself? Okay, another question. Do I need to wear a mask? We look when we go to the supermarket or we go out to do anything that we need to do, we see many people wearing a mask. Do we all need to wear a mask? Some people are wearing it, some people are not wearing it. What do we need to do? Okay, and what are the new norm? What is the new norm? Okay, now we're going to look at two key workers talking about their jobs. Okay, so we're going to listen to what they have to say about their jobs, okay? So the first person is Mohammed, and the second person is Nisha. Okay, so listen to the recordings and then you're going to fill in a gap fill just to say what we've heard about both of them, okay?
Hi, my name's Mohammed. I am a corporate security officer working in corporate offices doing security. I do patrols, I look after the whole building, I do lockdowns, I also look at the CCTV to see that there's no intruders or anybody trying to vandalize or damage property. This is my main job and I've been doing it for 5 years now, and I find it very enjoyable, and this is something that I have done for a while, and I will continue to do so.
Hi, my name is Nisha Jane Gurdev and I'm a key worker and I work at Barnet Hospital. I work as a biomedical scientist in the haematology and blood transfusion department, and what we do is we process all the patients that have had a full blood count and we check for all their indices, and we pass the results on to the consultants, doctors and the nurses on the wards in the hospital.
Okay, we're now going to look at writing some sentences about Mohammed and about Nisha. Okay, so if we look here, we have some sentences about Mohammed, but there's some words missing. Remember, we're writing in the present simple tense, Mohammed being the third person singular. Okay, here we have the missing words, but they're not in the correct order. So if you can look at them and complete the sentences for Mohammed. We also have the sentences for Nisha here. And here are the missing words. Okay, so pause the video and write your answers. Write down the correct words, choosing them from the words already provided. Okay. Okay, so Mohammed is a security guard. He works in a CCTV office. He checks the monitors and patrols the building. Okay, so if we look at the verbs, work, he works, he checks, third person singular. Okay, same thing for Nisha now. So Nisha is a scientist. She works in a hospital. She checks and processes bloods to find any indices for the consultants, doctors and nurses. Okay, so if we can look at the tables here, we've got the verbs in green. Okay, and we can see that the verbs have all got an S because these are used for third person singular. Okay, so a little bit of homework for you. Use the present simple tense to write positive sentences and negative sentences about someone in your family who works. Tell us what job they do. Tell us, where they work. Okay. For example, we've got here an example for Maria. Maria is my sister. She works in a hospital as a nurse. She helps the doctors and follows the instructions. She gives medicine to the patients. She doesn't prescribe the medicine. The doctor does that. She enjoys her job. Okay, so if we look here, there's lots of verbs that we're using, or we've got some auxiliary verbs as well. Okay, so just write some sentences about somebody in your family who works and what they do, where they work, do they enjoy their job, a little bit of information about them. Okay, so that's the end of outcome 3. So what did we learn today? So today we looked at creating our own sentences using the present simple tense. Okay, so we did some question sentences, we did some gap fill, we did we did some listening as well. So that was the end of the outcome 3. Okay, so like your feedback and evaluation for the lesson. So please let us know. Tell us what you think of the lesson. Was it good? Was it clear? Did you understand the activities? Were the activities okay? Would you like to do them in a different way? Were they difficult? How can we support you better? Please let us know. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. And until next time, we're going to be doing outcome 4 next. So please stay tuned for the next video. Take care until next time. Bye.